It appears the gambit run by Matt Gaetz and 7 other Republicans at the beginning of October to oust the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, may have just paid off in spades. I can tell you that Gaetz will win his district in a landslide in 2024 because what he got in return for his unprecedented move to dump McCarthy is a conservative Christian who opposes the war in Ukraine, supports Israel, and believes the needs of ordinary Americans, you and I, must be the #1 priority for those serving in Congress. What a concept. Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson is a hard-nosed true believer in America, and he promised to do the people's work, get government spending under control, and stop the invasion at the southern border, too. It's a tall list, but most people don't seem to know much about the congressman that grew up in Shreveport before setting his sights on the 4th Congressional District in the Pelican State. But today I think it is critically important to meet the man who now has the gavel and get a sense of who he is and how he might lead the people's house. He began with a sunny day, which after 3 weeks of turmoil and upheaval for the GOP seemed like a reset and a refreshing chance to get all that rancor out of the way. And the new Speaker of the House stood in front of the Capitol after getting the unanimous support of Republicans to become the 56th Speaker, and here is part of what he said. You heard it here on this program yesterday. Here's a review.
We're going to tell them what we're for, what agenda we are pursuing, and why it is best for every American, why it will give them more liberty, opportunity, and security. We're going to speak to that clearly. We're going to act consistently, and we're going to exhibit 2 things here: trust and teamwork. And this group will deliver for the American people. I said it in the chamber, and I will say it here. We're going to govern well, and I think the people are going to be very pleased with those results. We're so grateful. I'm so grateful and so humbled to have gotten a unanimous vote on the floor by all of my colleagues here.
And this is the beginning of our introduction for the 8-year member of Congress that was considered among the darkest of dark horses in the race for Speaker. He wanted to focus on the work at hand because there's so much to do, he says. Listen.
We went through a lot to get here, but we are ready to govern, and that will begin right away. You've all heard me talk a lot today, and I'm not going to belabor the point because the sun is bright and it's too warm for the fall. But I'll say this. We're going to dispense with all the usual ceremonies and celebrations that traditionally follow a new speakership because we have no time for either one. The American people's business is too urgent in this moment. The hour is late, the crisis is great. In America, we hear you, and we are reporting again, as I said in there, to our duty stations. That will begin in just a few moments. This entire group is going to go back to the House floor, and we are going to pass our resolution in support of the nation of Israel, our closest ally in the Middle East. You're going to see an aggressive schedule in the days and weeks ahead. You're going to see Congress working as hard as it's ever worked, and we are going to deliver for the American people. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I want to thank you for being patient with us, and I promise you it'll be worth it. Yeah. God bless you. God bless you.
We're pretty optimistic, a lot of us out here in the hinterlands, but maybe a better gauge of who Speaker Johnson is or is going to be is to review what he's done and said in committees so far. And I, for one, have liked him for quite a while. Here's an exchange I want to share with FBI Director Christopher Wray that's pretty illuminating because, well, Johnson holds him to task and holds him to answer tough questions. Listen to this.
Can you define what disinformation is?
What I can tell you is that our focus is not on disinformation, broadly speaking.
Well, wait a minute. Yes, it is. Wait a minute.
Can I answer the question?
You can in a minute. Your star witness said in the litigation, Elvis Chan, who's in charge of this, said they do it on the basis of disinformation. We need a definition of what that is.
Our focus is on malign foreign disinformation. That is foreign hostile actors who engage in covert efforts to abuse our social media platforms, which is something that is not seriously in dispute.
I have to stop you for time. That's not accurate. You need to read this court opinion because you're in charge of enforcing it. The court has found that, and Elvis Chan testified under oath in charge of this for you. He said 50%. He had a 50% success rate in having alleged election disinformation taken down or censored. That wasn't just foreign adversaries, sir. That was American citizens. How do you answer for that?
Well, first off, I'm not sure that's a correct characterization.
Comes right out of the opinion. You should read it.
Of his testimony. But what I would say is the FBI is not in the business of moderating content or causing any social media company to suppress or censor.
That is not what the court has found.
You should read it, because that is not what the court has found. Look, this guy is better than Kevin McCarthy, hands down, and significantly better than Tom Emmer, who went down in flames earlier this week. And he might prove to be better than Jim Jordan, too, who gave up after 3 attempts. And I say that because Johnson is a conservative Christian who believes in what America is, what America can be, and frankly, what America should be.